Welcome to the Wrestling Still Cool podcast. This is KM. That's Mark.
Hey, y'all doing? Thanks for joining in.
Since we're not doing an interview here, we're gonna hit you with the socials first. It's you can follow us on Twitter at WrestlingSCool and him with the rest.
For Instagram, it's at Wrestling Still Cool. Facebook is Wrestling Still Cool. TikTok is at Wrestling Still Cool 90. Get us on email at WrestlingStillCool@gmail.com.
All right. So one of the things that we wanted to start this out with, one, we're going to really talk about what's going on in a lot of the TV shows, but it also has a lot to do with other recent events tied to wrestling in general. So as everyone knows, we're gearing up for Wrestlemania. I don't know which Wrestlemania this is. With this,
right? It's Wrestlemania 37.
37. Okay. Pirate Team. Yeah, they stopped advertising it with the. Okay. I don't know why they stopped doing this, but they stopped advertising it with a number. It was easy to keep track that way. But now it's just WrestleMania with no number, and it's okay. I've lost track of which one we're on.
That happens. Honestly, I used to try to do my best to keep track when I was a kid with Super Bowls, but I don't watch NFL anymore. But it's I don't remember the Super Bowl numbers. But WrestleMania's I do decent with on numbers. Not great, but decent.
I think this last Super Bowl was 58. Around there. 56, right around there. I used to know. I know the first one was played in the 60s. Either way.
I think WrestleMania 36 is going to be the one with the black guy a little bit because obviously it was a very different one because no fans and pandemic and it was in a small place. So it's going to be the one with the black guy and the odd one. The oddball of the family.
There's always a WrestleMania. It seems like in every 10 series of 10, there's always going to be one that doesn't really have much of a good memories tied to it.
It happens.
You'll have this one. I think the one with Rock and Cena 2 kind of had a glaring issue with it too.
Yeah.
But then you had a bunch of this going on. That's just how WrestleMania is. Everyone has this high expectation, and sometimes when it's not met, or in the case of Rock versus Cena 2, it's like, huh, you guys lied to us last year. That's awesome.
There's been a few WrestleManias out there that weren't, they had, it's hard to. Sometimes they weren't always certain years weren't always the better ones, but it happens. It's just sometimes you try to go for a different swing, and sometimes it's a miss or it's a foul ball, and it's just the way it happens that way too. But hoping this year is a home run. We'll find out. Obviously this weekend.
So
live in Tampa, Florida, at the Ray J. I guess you're not going to be there. I think you told me recently you weren't going to be able to make it inside the show.
I don't have a couple $1,000s to drop on it. I legitimately looked at the tickets and I'm like, I do not want to sit in the. Wait, you can't hear me at all? Hello?
Okay, now I hear you now.
Wow. Okay, it was picking me up.
Are you going to attend the show? You told me recently you weren't going to be able to.
I do not have a couple $1,000s to drop on it. No way. I legitimately looked at the tickets and I'm like, it's $300 for so if you guys watch NFL, it's like the top row of the stadium. No, there's no way that
got Brassil business. I was there. That's was telling, the last episode we did, I think. Since WrestleMania 24 when I went, it was not at $300.
Right. Well, and the discussion I got into with my significant other
for the nosebleed section, just to clarify that to all our listeners.
Right.
Now, go ahead. You're saying.
I was discussing with my significant other, and I'm just like, that is something I want to do. I do eventually want to make it there because it's one of those things. It's kind of, I don't want to say a bucket list thing, but it's just like when you're a wrestling fan for that long, you want to go to a WrestleMania. That's just how
absolutely.
it is. But there's no way I'm sitting that now. I will down the line. Oh, of course.
I hear you.
Even if I have to travel, even if I have to go, it's in for this WrestleMania. It's in Texas. I got to go to Texas. All right, I'll go to Texas for a week. You know what I mean?
That'd be. I can't. That'd be hard to imagine you going all the way to Texas to watch WrestleMania.
I would do a two-parter. So if I'm going to use Texas as an example. If it is in Texas, I would literally use that to go like visit historical sites because I love history. I would go visit historical sites while I'm there, check out WrestleMania while I was there, do a little bit of the touristy thing, and then come back. Same thing if it goes anywhere like Arizona, I would do the same thing.
You go Texas. If you go Texas, I want to see. I want to hear that you went to one of those Texas cowboy honky tonks.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'll go to Alamo.
I'll get Texas. I'm gonna go back to the Texas saloon.
So if I ever went to Texas, I would try to hit up a place that was like a steakhouse. I would definitely try to hit up a Mexican food place. I'd hit up a Mexican food place because they're right near the Rio Grande. There should be no reason why Mexican food is not good.
And the barbecue too.
Yeah, things like that. I would do the touristy things. I would try to like. Besides Alamo, I can't even think of anything else that's coming to mind of like one of those.
Well, that's next year.
Well, I'm just using that as an example. I don't think I'm going to WrestleMania next year, but I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah, I got you, man. They're in Texas next year, and the following year they're in Hollywood.
Yeah, California, wherever. Honestly, I wouldn't mind going to California. I would definitely like to see California.
Yeah,
it's a ridiculously long state.
I hear you. No, but this would have been the right year for you to go because you're just right down right down the road.
Yeah, it's only about I think a half hour for me.
Something
and
like
I do know from looking at our stats for downloads, I do know we have people that check this out over in California. One thing I will tell you guys, those listeners in California, is legal there. I can't believe you guys up in California have an Uber service to bring you pre-rolled marijuana cigarettes. That is ridiculous.
I don't smoke, but I was like, that's crazy that is the case. Wow.
Yeah, it is. It is. We found out from someone that was from California about that, and they literally showed us the app and everything and how it works.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Everything's different in California.
It is.
As funny as old buddy of mine, we try to keep contact once in a blue moon. He's from California. I think he's the central area. I don't know. I forgot. But being, he compared like what they call California lifestyle versus the Florida lifestyle. For y'all that don't know, I'm from same area that the KM's from, and yeah, we always compare, different lifestyles. There's a similarity, beaches and stuff like that, and high class lifestyle sometimes out there, and different people, different, it's interesting. I ain't never been to California, so it's I've only heard about it. So yeah, it's interesting. We can kind of compare certain things.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where it's just like, that's unique to California, and I don't really see that happening anywhere else. But one of the things were going on was we saw the return of the Fiend, reference to WrestleMania. How do you dig the new look?
I was like, at first, but like the first second, and I'm like, well, that makes sense, and it's good, smart, thing they're doing, because it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for him to come back, unmarked or looking the same as he did, obviously. So I just I'm looking forward to seeing where they evolve this new look and new side of the Fiend, and if they're going to do something with the Bray Wyatt himself and the Firefly, that was Funhouse thing, or his usual gimmick, and so I wonder where they're going to take it to. Obviously he's not talked yet since he's been back, but I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. How long are they going to have Alexa Bliss being his mouthpiece and being around him, being associated with him? And I was thinking, like, probably going to come a day sometime down, I don't know, whenever that time comes, that if they separate her, are they going to make it look like it was some kind of weird nightmare that's going to have her snap out of it, or are they just going like, turn it against them? Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. But as far as what I think about it, I think it's okay. It's a different side of it, but obviously I understand the intelligence about having come back with a new look. I They were talking about recently who was the designer of that. I don't know. I forgot her name now, but they designed a new mask and outfit and so forth. But I think it's interesting. It was needed because I said he burned alive. Well, at least the mannequin was, but it's a good sell with this new outfit, new attire. What you think?
I have mixed feelings about it because it makes, like you said, it makes sense for his clothes and masks to be burnt up, but it weirdly takes away too much detail from the mask that I thought was creepy to where I just don't find the mask creepy anymore. It's hard to explain. It just, I don't like the way the new mask looks. I don't know.
Did you want to be the old mask, like exactly the way it was?
No, but I don't think it's as scary as it should be. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, I understand what you're saying. I guess this is just more or less a sell point of it. Is they're just, I don't know. Then they may give them something else down the road.
Yeah,
Something new. It would make sense, but also at the same time, it totally wouldn't make sense because he's not supposed to be your typical wrestler on the main roster. He's not supposed to be. So it's like he's not supposed to be treated. Hey, he needs new clothes. So you got to treat him as what he is. The fiend, the demon, whatever. So I understand. Got to treat him differently as you would, on camera. So
right. If they see, like, okay, it's kind of hard to explain because to me there's too much damage done to the mask to make it look creepy.
Yeah.
I just think they made some alterations to it to show that he was burnt and changed. That I've seen more, but I don't know. It's just a lot of the changes doesn't sit well with me. As for Alexa Bliss, I think Alexa is a pairing with her with the Fiend was probably one of the best things they could have done for both of them. She
absolutely.
is definitely creepy in the role that she's doing right now.
Oh yeah, I don't. In my view, I look for the ladies they have on the main roster with at least Raw and SmackDown, we'll call that, and I don't think anybody in my view could really sell it the way she's doing it at all. I don't think there's anybody that's in my thought that could do it as well. The only person I could think that could do decently, I don't know how well, would be your girl. Your favorite. Oh gosh, mind blank.
Bailey?
Blonde shit. No,
Blonde.
come on. She was now I'm mind blanking on the stuff here. She's the one that plays the video games or likes the same stuff.
Oh, right. Not Mandy Rose, the other one. The
Wow.
I know who you're talking about because this is sad. I just watched an Up Down video with her. That she played against Ember Moon. It's not Mandy Rose. Liv Morgan.
Yeah. I could see she'd be the runner up, but I would have to see it. But I think Alexa Bliss was obviously she's doing it perfectly. But I think Liv Morgan could be the runner up. But other than that, I don't see anybody else having that impact well, huh?
The kicker with for me for Alexa Bliss pulling this off is I heard rumors years ago that they wanted to pair up Alexa Bliss with the Fiend as her being not Fiend, Bray Wyatt, as for her being Sister Abigail years ago. And it just never came to be. So now that they've done this and they've done this with the Fiend, it's like, wonder how that would have been.
I think the timing was good now. When they started doing that was